All right, first question here. The graph shows the function f of x equals x to the fourth plus 2x cubed minus 13x squared minus 14x plus 24. So there are how many number of terms? Five. Good. What is the degree of that polynomial? 4. Good. What's the leading coefficient? 1. Good. All right, remember the degree, it's quartic. Leading coefficient is 1, x to the... Did I say it? All right, so leading coefficient would be 1. Okay. 8, the end behavior. As it goes to the right, it's going up, it's going to infinity. As it goes to the left, it's going up, going to infinity. We have 3 turning points. They are our maximum and minimums, and we'll give those points in a second. Our x-intercepts are at -4, -2, 1, and 3. And then our minimums, you could get on a calculator and trace it, but just looking at the graph, it looks at it like it's at about at -3.2, -25, and 2.2, -25. And the maximum looks like it's at about -0.5, 27-ish. All right, number 18, we would have 2x to the 5th, and then x to the 4th, -3x plus 8x would give me 5x cubed. And then I would have -3x squared plus x minus 6. So we would have degree would be 5, which means it is quintic. The number of terms is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the leading coefficient is 2. (19) we would have 10x to the 7th minus x to the 4th minus 7x cubed plus 8x squared. Degree would be 7. So you could just say it'd be 7th degree. And after 5, it's just 6th degree, 7th degree. Number of terms is 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Leading coefficient would be 10. And then number 20, we would have negative x to the 4th minus x cubed plus 5x squared plus 9x plus 12. So there it would be quartic. The degree would be 4. Meaning it's quartic. All right, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. And then the leading coefficient there would be -1. Okay, so we'd have a 6-term polynomial, 4-term polynomial, 5th-term polynomial. We don't have a monomial, binomial, or trinomial there. All right, 21. We'll distribute to all three terms, so that'll give me negative 20 x cubed y plus 36 x squared y squared plus 4 xy cubed.
Doesn't matter what order you put the y and the x in.
X is supposed to come before y. 22. I'm going to distribute the 3c to all three terms. So that'll give me 6c cubed minus 15c squared plus 21c. And I'm going to distribute the negative 4 to all three terms. Negative 8c squared plus 20c minus 28. Combine like terms, we'll have 6c cubed minus 23c squared plus 41c minus 28. All right, 23. So I'm going to FOIL these first two binomials. Okay. So first, z squared, outer, negative 9z, inner, plus 5z, last, negative 45. Combine like terms, we got z squared minus 4z minus 45. And then I'm going to multiply that by 1 minus z. So first, I'm going to distribute the 1 to all three terms, which just gives you z squared minus 4z minus 45. Then I'm going to distribute the negative z, which will give me negative z cubed plus 4z squared plus 45z. And I will combine like terms. I'll have, in order, I'll have negative z cubed, then z squared, so that'll be 5z squared, and then negative 4z, that gives me 41z, and then minus 45. 19, I would set that up as 4, and then 1, gotta add in a 0 for the x cubed, minus 25, 0 for the x, and 144. Always addition and synthetic, bring down the 1. 4 times 1 is 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Negative 25 plus 16 is negative 9. 4 times negative 9 is negative 36. 0 plus negative 36 is negative 36. And 4 times negative 36 is negative 144. Remainder of 0. So our answer would be x cubed plus 4x squared minus 9x minus 36. Number 20, I would have negative 5, then 1, 6, 3, negative 10, always addition. Bring down the 1, negative 5 times 1 is negative 5, 6 plus negative 5 is 1. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5, 3 plus negative 5 is negative 2. Negative 5 times negative 2 gives me a positive 10. Remainder of 0 again. So my answer here is x squared plus x minus 2. (21). 4, 3, we're missing a 2. So I'll have negative 2 in my box. Got 1, 2, negative 3. Need to add a 0 for the x squared. 1, negative 1. Addition. Bring down the 1. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Add together, you get 0. Negative 2 times 0 is 0. Gives us negative 3. Negative 2 times negative 3 is 6. Gives us 6. Negative 2 times negative 1. Or negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. So it's negative 11. That gives us 22, which gives us a remainder of 21. So my answer there will be x to the 4th plus 0x cubed minus 3x squared plus 6x minus 11 plus 21 over x plus 2. And so technically you'd write that as x to the 4th minus 3x squared plus 6x minus 11 plus 21 over x plus 2. All right, the long division. Sorry, number 15. We'll have x minus 1 divided by x cubed plus 5x squared minus x minus 5. So I'd multiply x by x squared. That gives me x cubed minus x squared. Subtraction, cancel. Plus, that gives me 6x squared. Bring down the negative x. Would need to multiply by 6x. Both terms, that gives me 6x squared minus 6x. Subtract, x squareds cancel. Plus 6x makes that 5x. Bring down the negative 5. Multiply by 5. Give me 5x. Always subtraction, so we get a remainder of 0. So that answer is x squared plus 6x plus 5. Number 16. I'll have 2x plus 1. And then 2x cubed plus 9x squared plus 10x plus 3. So I would multiply by x, distribute to both. That'll give me 2x. Oh, no, it won't. I'll multiply by x squared. Distribute to both, and that'll give me 2x cubed plus x squared. Subtract, they cancel. Minus x squared, that gives me 8x squared. Bring down the 10x. I'll multiply by 4x, distribute to both. That gives me 8x squared plus 4x. Subtract, and that cancels. That gives me 6x. Bring down the 3. Would multiply by 3. 3 times 2x gives me 6x. 3 times 1 gives me 3. We subtract, and it all cancels. So my answer is x squared plus 4x plus 3. Number 12, sketch the graph of the function by finding the zeros. So number 12, there's a GCF there of 3x, which leaves you with x squared minus 3x minus 4. And so then you can factor that trinomial, two factors of negative 4 that add to give us negative 3 will be x minus 4, x plus 1. All right. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. So I set all three factors equal to 0. 3x equals 0. X minus 4 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. So we get x equals 0. X equals 4. X equals negative 1. So I'm going to mark those zeros on my graph. And since my leading term is 3x cubed, it's positive and it has an odd exponent up to 2 turns, okay? Now you can plug it in your calculator, but you know it's going to be up to 2 turns, so it'll look something like that. That's the sketch that we want to get. All right, next, number 13. It's already factored. So our zeros, x plus 3 equals 0, x minus 1 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0. So we have zeros at x equals negative 3, x equals 1, x equals 4. Negative 3, 1, 4. And we have 3 x's, x cubed. Again, positive, all right, and odd exponent. So it would, again, something like that. All right, number 14. And again, we have a GCF there on 14. We can take out an x. Leaves us with x squared minus 8x plus 16. So two factors of 16 that add to give us negative 8 are negative 4 and negative 4. So that's x minus 4 squared, which means we're going to have a bounce point there. Okay. So our two factors will have x equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0. So that's 1, 0. And then we got x equals 4. We'll have a bounce point at 4. Okay. So again, the leading term is x cubed, positive and odd. So we'll go up and through, but when we come down, we'll bounce and go back up there. All right, 15. 4 terms. If we have 4 terms, we want to try and factor by grouping. X cubed minus x squared minus 25x plus 25. Group, 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 group. GCF of that first group is x squared. So with x minus 1. GCF of that second group is negative 25. With x minus 1. So I have x minus 1 times x squared minus 25. X squared minus 25 is difference of squares. So I'll have x minus 1 times x plus 5 times x minus 5. Set the three factors equal to 0. And so our zeros are at 1, negative 5, and 5. All right, again, first term was x cubed, so look like that. Okay. All right, last one. So 9x to the fourth minus 40x squared plus 16. So you could do quadratic formula there. Since it's x to the fourth and x squared, you treat it just as if it was x squared and x. Okay, it works the same, but a little different. You'll see why here. If you do the AC method, 9 times 16 gives you 144. Two factors of 144 that give you negative 40 are negative 36 and negative 4. So when you split the middle term, you'll have 9x to the fourth. It's minus 36x squared because it was a 40x squared. Minus 4x squared plus 16 when you split that middle term. Okay. Factor by grouping. Group, 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 group. GCF of that first group is 9x squared, which leaves you with x squared minus 4. GCF of that second grouping is negative 4, which leaves you with x squared minus 4. So those factors are x squared minus 4 and 9x squared minus 4. Set them equal to 0. They're difference of squares, but you can also do it like this. Add 4, x squared equals 4, square root, x equals plus or minus 4. Add 4, 9x squared equals 4.
It would be plus or minus 2.
Divide by 9. Yeah, it should be plus or minus 2. Thanks, Royce. My bad. Trying to go fast. That'll give me x squared equals 4/9, square root. We get x equals plus or minus 2/3. So the zeros would be 2, negative 2, 2/3, negative 2/3. So we got negative 2, negative 2/3, 2/3, and 2. And since it's 9x to the fourth is our first term, it's positive and even. It will look like this. Boom. Okay. Well, we can't leave yet. We have the second lunch dismissal. Now, if you put that in your calculator, the max and mins will be different in that W shape, but just sketch the general shape there from that.